Yep. Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Hey, everybody. You might be waking up with us. We're here really early at the Villa Village. This is a big day for us. What's up?
Yeah, today we are pouring the concrete in the footers of the house number 10. So we are almost in the end of the little way that we used to came to build the houses. So
house number 11, would you believe?
11. Wow.
It snuck up on us. Yeah. So this means that this is next to the last house, which is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's hard to believe that we're this far along. So you can see lots of houses behind us, and we've been just working out in the hot sun for many days, getting a lot prepared for a big week that we have coming up. So you want to tell everybody what's happening this coming week?
Yeah, like many people, I see some of the comments, and I was thinking we have to make a live stream to talk about what is going on, because probably people don't understand what we are doing. So the reason that we have been doing concrete in these last 2 weeks, this is our second week putting concrete in the footers, is then we're gonna have a Blitz, builder Blitz. So the big hope, and we think that it's happening because it's many people commit to do it, is then we're gonna frame 4 houses in 4 days.
Which is huge. 4 houses in 4 days for this builder blitz. So we're really excited to the Builders Association of Blue Ridge Mountains, which is about 1,000 builders strong here in Western North Carolina. And so they partnered with us on this blitz, and they partnered with us throughout this project, have been a really big supporter of our work. And so we're real excited about some really awesome people coming to help. So Sinus Construction, this will be their second time here, so that's really exciting. We have Thorough Brothers, and Stephen, who's one of the builders with them, has been here and helped. We have Modern Mountain Builders, they're coming out for the Blitz. We have WSM Craft, and so there was some folks from WSM that helped with our model house as well. And Adams and Adams, Gus Adams is going to be here, and he also helped on our model house, and probably some more folks are still signing on. So it's really exciting. So imagine sort of 4 houses in 4 days going up. And I can't forget to mention our friends at C.W. Brown Construction, who've really had our back. So they're going to be here this weekend putting up floor frames. I don't know if you can see in the distance. We've got one floor frame up that they put up, and so they'll be coming to put in floor frames, and then the builders come in next Wednesday through Saturday. I'll be doing walls and roofs, so it's going to be pretty amazing. You're going to see houses just literally popping out of the ground, and that's the excitement. This one's ready. Ancho, if you want to.
So yesterday I guess we sent a MailChimp, and we was inviting people to come and see it, because it's going to be like a big show. It's going to be a historical moment. I never even heard about it before, about 4 houses being framed in the same time. And it's very powerful to see it in our community. It's many people, and it's acting like if this really, because we know there is a crisis of housing, so it's many people that are acting like at the crisis the need is, and it's doing something about it. So yesterday was something very nice for me to see that somebody came and bring snacks, thinking that the Blitz was happening yesterday. So we invite you, if you want to come and support the builders that are coming next week, Wednesday, started Wednesday to Saturday. We invite you to bring water, invite you to bring snacks, to bring support and show love to the people, and it's going to be helping us to build these houses.
Maybe you're a baker, so you want to bake some home-baked goods. That would be amazing. We still are looking for volunteers. So we have a lot of folks that are coming out to help serve lunch, make sure people are hydrated, and doing hospitality, helping be floaters, and just do whatever's needed. And so whether that's helping literally build or move material, or making Lowe's runs. So I want to give big thanks to our friends at Lowe's and our Lowe's Hometown project. We're so thrilled to be one of 100 projects across the country that Lowe's is supporting in hometowns across America. And we are real thrilled that this is one of those hometown projects, because literally there's a housing crisis in almost every community in our country right now. And so this represents the hope. This is a really innovative model solution that came from people who were struggling in the housing crisis, and that grew up right here in our hometown of Asheville. And people literally across the country are calling us, from New York to California to Florida. There's an art exhibit happening right now in Kansas City about this project, just to get people excited.
Yesterday, people from Brevard came to see it.
Yeah, so local folks around Brevard, Marion, lots of folks in Western North Carolina interested in doing this, and we're interested in doing it again. So we want to invite you. You might know somebody that has a piece of land that would be perfect for this. You might know somebody that wants to come on and support this work. And we sure need that, because we've learned so much through this whole project, and we want to keep that going, keep that momentum going. And so we invite you to support the Beloved Villages project in any way you can. So Pancho, what are we doing this morning? We all seen us sort of doing this very interesting thing here on the table.
So we came very early today, because usually what we have been doing, we dig the footers. Yesterday we marked the footers, we dig the footers, and the next thing that we have to do is call for inspection, for them to come and check that everything is okay for us to pour concrete. So we have to came today 7:30 in the morning to make everything ready in place for when the inspection came. Then they can come between 7:30 and 5 o'clock. So this is why we are here very early. So we are making the rebar. Then is the what the architect said, and we have to have in the bottom of the boxes of the footers. So we are making the rebars. We have to have 9 in each house. So it's 9 footers in each house. So this is what we are doing right now. We have all these rebar together. Is 6 rebars together, and later we have something that is called the seat.
Yep. So this is the chair, the rebar seat, and so this is a very interesting thing that we're doing. It's called tying rebar. So we just take these little ties. You can see it's a messy job. So you get your hands really good and dirty around doing the work, which is a good thing. We take these little ties and we tie this together. And so this is what really binds that concrete, and so it's really great in terms of supporting our work. So this is the very foundation. So we pour these 9 footers, and then we build up. I don't know if you can see in the background, we build up on posts, and then the floor sits on this. So when we talk about prepping for concrete and pouring concrete, it's probably one of the hardest things that we do here. And that's because it's very precise. We have to get these piers in the exact right location for the posts. And so it's a very tedious job where you're having to measure and literally put boxes on the ground. We use spray paint, and we put where these boxes are. And then Pancho climbs in the excavator, and he's digging out these footers very precisely. And then there's usually one of us on the ground. So yesterday I was measuring to see how deep it was, to make sure it was deep enough to signal him. And then we literally get out with shovels, and we're shoveling these whole square and cleaning out roots if there's any roots in the bottom. We take a Sawzall and cut them away, and then we have to then measure and put these boxes into place. So we had a team here assembling boxes yesterday. We had a lot of them assembled when we poured this house, and that was it. We had all our boxes that were done, and so we had to build new ones. So we had a team building boxes while Pancho and I were measuring and digging these footer holes. So it's a very labor-intensive kind of task, particularly out in the 90-degree sun. But we're real excited to be at this place. So this one's ready, Pancho, if you want to tie that one.
Yeah, and like we were saying, like we are making ourselves ready for inspection. So when the inspection came, they came and checked. Then it's very well compacted the ground, and then we have the rebars in the floor. Mm-hmm. And later, if everything go okay, like they give us the green ticket, then it's like you can pour concrete now. And later we're gonna go to the skid steer and have the attachment. We have a new attachment that is called concrete mixer. and we mix. Usually it takes us 2 pallets of 60 pounds bags. I think it's like 70 in each pallet, and take us like 2 pallets to do the footage of one house. So this is gonna be our afternoon. Probably we're gonna do some more live streams later on. And if you want to come and help us today, like we have a lot of work, we have to remove some of these triply and these boards from all the other footers. Like Amy was saying, CJ Brown is coming tomorrow, today and tomorrow.
Yeah, CW Brown's coming. They're bringing 3 crews in tomorrow. So they're coming right behind us building floors, which is really awesome. Get that ready all for Blitz. So yeah, we have a lot to do today. If you want to come down and volunteer, we invite you to do that. We welcome folks to be a part. Particularly welcome you to come next week for the Blitz and watch this. It's going to be like Pancho says. It's going to be like something that I've never seen anything like it, and I'm real excited to see it. So we invite you to come out Wednesday through Saturday. We'll be here 8 to 5. Come out and check that out. The other thing or come afterward and just see the progress at the end of the day. We welcome you to do that. The other thing is the following week, September the 6th, we're going to be at the Outpost having a celebration of all of this, of the Builders Blitz. So we welcome you to come out for that. If you work during the day, it's the perfect time to come out and celebrate with us. The lads, it's a local band's going to be playing. We're excited that they're coming. They do like classic rock and Motown. And we're going to have food trucks, and we're going to do a fun award ceremony for all the folks that have participated with us in the Blitz. And we're just going to have a good time together, and we miss doing that. We know that there were years that we weren't able to do that, so we invite you to come out and do that in particular. The other thing that we want to say is, as we go into Labor Day weekend coming up next week, this is really important for us is to talk about workers building for workers, and that's really what's happening. You know, there's so many people in our community that work hard every day and really are struggling to live here, struggling to afford to live here. So we want to make sure that folks are being have a place that they can call home and put down roots. Working poor families, young people entering the workforce, elders who've worked their whole lives and are now on a fixed income, for example, folks that worked and became disabled due to that. And so we really want to talk about workers working for workers. And I know that's special to you, Pancho. You talked about, particularly during the pandemic, what we talked about with essential workers. So I wonder if you want to share that.
In the middle of the pandemic, we saw that many people in our community, many workers, was called essential workers. So I think it was good to call the people that work at the time and then help us to make it in the middle of the pandemic. People that are still working and risk their life for still keeping a lot of the necessities around us, like doctors, nurses, people that work in the fields. People that work in construction. I think the pandemic was one of the booms of construction here in Nashville and probably around the country. And we always think that it's good to call essential workers because it's what they are, no matter the time, no matter if it's pandemic or not, they always have been essential workers.
Yes.
Only it's better than create monuments for them. It's better to offer a different way, a different situation for them to still have the possibility to live around our communities, because we know many people here that have to drive from Marshall to come to work in downtown. Many people that live here then have to drive from Waynesville to work in downtown Asheville. Many people from here then have to drive from Black Mountain to work in downtown Asheville. So this is what you are seeing right here is the monument for all these essential workers. We are creating a solution,
That's
stability for all the workers that we have here, because we know that in the middle of the pandemic they risk their life. So it's easy enough to do something, a monument that is going to help them in the long run.
In their everyday lives. This one's ready, Pancho. And I think about like all the ways that essential workers, like we interact with them every day, whether it's at the grocery store or maybe we're driving down a road that somebody's fixing, or I think especially right now of all the folks that are helping our kids as they go back to school, whether it's teachers or school bus drivers or folks working in the cafeteria serving nutritious lunches, or folks that are helping to make sure all that flows, administration. So be sure to thank, essential workers as you see them. Work for living wages to make sure everybody is making enough, and certainly pour your heart into, as we say, this monument to essential workers. And so we want to really particularly remember those folks around this Labor Day holiday.
Yeah, and I always think, like, because many people ask us, like, how you decide to start doing houses and do something about the crisis then we are having with housing. And I always think in this phrase, and I think then, I don't know who said it, maybe it was Martin Luther King, then he was saying, then, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh,
and I think
Fannie Lou Hamer. Yeah.
So I think then this is the perfect example how it look like being sick and tired of going to all these meetings and people talking about the problems and people talking about the data and almost never happen, nothing is done there. You only hear about the bad situation. And so this is how it look like being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Fannie Lou Hamer who said that, and such a powerful thing, and picked up by many, including Martin Luther King. And she had it right when she was talking about, what it means to be sick and tired. This one's ready too. And so sick and tired that we're willing to do something about it. So I think about how many of us have been here, in the 90-degree heat,
yep.
in the winter when it was spitting snow, and in the rain, and all the things, like being willing to learn things that we didn't know how to do and be stretched. All of that is happening, and I think that's a really powerful quote to remember, to remind us that that's when we get to that point, we recognize that it's us, that we can do this. And I think you've been talking about how you remember when you really got to the point when you realized all these years when we say we are the people, like what that means.
Yeah, so I think then this is the big, and this is what we go and talk in all these many places and people invite us. We just went to New Orleans and we were saying to them, like, we are normal people then have a very normal life, then decide to do something about the problems that we are seeing. And so the house that you can see in the end is the house that we learn how to make walls. And later the next house we learn how to do the footers, and the next house we learn how to do the roof. Mm-hmm. So when we start building these houses, we don't know nothing about how to make houses. Only now for sure we know a lot of things, and we are able to transfer a lot of the information to the volunteers that came here. So something that for me have been very powerful is many people that are in between 70 and 80. I remember Bob. Bob came and was one of the first persons that started teaching us about the different ways that you can make the house. And something that for me was very powerful is that Bob is 80 years old. And I was thinking, like, how powerful a way to be here, then it's like transfer all the information that you have, all the knowledge to these people and want to do something good in the community. So I think that I'm very powerful. I saw the people that are 73, 75, and for me it's very powerful to see them is this generation, then they still have a lot of energy. I don't know how they do it. Only like for me, give me a lot of hope, because if they can do it in the 70, it's a lot of hope for us to do it in the 72.
Yeah, and just the passion and care for people. It's just really been awesome. And on the flip side, we've seen lots of kids come out here. We've seen 4-year-olds that want to get involved and want to be part of the solution. We've seen youth. I talk about this was a solid acre of bamboo that's behind us, and so it was hand cleared mostly by youth under our sustainability platform, and all of that bamboo was. We take the leafy branches, and that all goes to be mulched, and then we've invited people to come and creatively reuse the bamboo, and so that's happened. Maybe you've been somebody that's helped us to do that, but almost this whole acre of land was cleared by youth, which is really incredible. And I always tell them, you can do big things, you can do big things. And so, and I really love to see, children and elders working together. And we've seen that really powerfully here. So folks from really every generation, who believe that we are the people that we've been waiting for, that we are the people that can be a part of the solution here. And so we invite you to really see, look deep in your heart and see what you might want to do. We have artists that have gotten involved. We have a dear friend sending love out to her who's been going through a chronic illness, and she created all of these beautiful art pieces and brought them here, and that really just touched our hearts. We have potters who are making pottery dishes for each house. Our friend Lindsay really got together with all her potter friends and invited them to get involved in the solution. So there's lots of ways that you can get involved. Maybe you're a photographer, videographer, want to help us do that on Blitz Day. There's lots of different ways. Maybe you're a healthcare professional and want to help us just be on safety patrol and make sure that people are well, and if they need assistance, that you're there. So there's lots of ways that you can get involved in this. One big way is tell somebody about it. Spread the word. Tell this story that there are people right here who are committed enough to learn how to do all this and are creating this homegrown solution that's literally going out across the country. We invite you to share that story. Or just come and see. It always encourages us. In fact, we had a couple that came the other day, and it was probably one of our hardest days. And she looked at me and she said, I want you to know, whenever y'all are working out here in the hot sun and doing this hard work, that you have a whole community around you that's cheering you on and is here and believes in this. And she said, on your hard days, I want you to feel all of us surrounding you. And that was such a powerful message for me that she shared that. It meant a lot. So whatever it is that is your skill and gift, we invite you to bring that and be a part of the solution here at the Be Love Village. We're getting close to having them all done, eh?
There's 2 more only.
1, 2?
Yep.
So this is it on the rebar. So this is how we do things. We just get in here and make it happen. It's pretty exciting to see this. I remember doing this the very first house and going what are we doing? How many pieces of rebar is it? How do we tie them together? And learning this and then teaching other people how to do it. It's pretty exciting to be on our 11th house here.
Yeah, in whatever thing that you are learning, always the hard part is to start, because you feel like that you don't have progress, then you don't understand what you even are doing at the time. I need another one here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this is the hardest part. Only like if you are able to stay for 1, 2 months, 3 months, and later you start understanding, like you start seeing the progress and you became faster. Like the first houses take us long time. And I can tell you that these houses is not taking us like this long time, because like we already have the knowledge. Mm-hmm. And we already create new different ways to not waste energy and not waste time. So we create different methods to make it faster too.
And that's part of the learning. It's one of the things that I tell my kids a lot. This is just practice, right? When you're learning something new, you're practicing it over and over. And you feel at first you're not good at it, you don't understand it, and then all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and you really get it. And you get really good at it. So good at it that like Pancho's saying, you begin to be like, oh, we can do it this way, and it can go smoother and easier, and this one's ready to be tied. So that's kind of what we've done here, and so we want to encourage you, and we love having folks come out that are new to this. We've had a lot of people learn here and are taking their skills back to their own home and building things there. We like to teach youth about, careers in the construction trades and how to do different pieces of this. It's just a lot of fun. And so we invite you to come out. You don't have to have any prior skill or knowledge of this, and we'll just teach you whatever we're doing that particular day. You can come and learn here and grow with us. And what's happened is that we now have a volunteer crew that's been together a long time, and we've learned a lot of this together. So we had people here yesterday that were here from the very beginning. Yep. Jeff worked on the model house. Bill was here for our very first pour. Down here when we started our full build, he was a part of that whole group, and has stayed with it throughout. So it's really meaningful, and we enjoy each other a lot. We've learned to really work together well, and we eat together and laugh together. We've cried together. We've done, I can think of many times that we've done things that I thought, there's no way we're going to get this done in time, and we somehow pull out a miracle. And it's because of the commitment. It's because people really care. And to see community members work so hard as volunteers to make this happen is just a beautiful, powerful thing. So we continue to say, this is the impossible becoming possible. We were talking to some folks yesterday about housing in Asheville and hearing some pretty alarming numbers. And so what we know is that we've got to build housing, for our community, and that's why we're committed to doing that. That's why we've learned all of this. And so we invite you to be committed with us to doing this work. Because it matters greatly, and we're very excited to see people come home to this village and this beautiful space. So that's another part of the work that we're doing right now is we're getting ready in the application. We're ready in sort of what's going to happen as people move in here, and it's really exciting. And that's also on the forefront, as we look at equity for everybody that moves in here, as we look at people here creating the neighborhood that they want to live in. So many of our people who were impacted by the housing crisis and sat in the circle for many weeks, over more than a year's time to help us develop this. Many of them said, we want to live around neighbors that we care about, who care about us. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing. And that's what we want to inspire in Asheville is a whole community full of neighbors who care about each other. And if we can do that, then we can do everything that's needed.
Yeah, and what you are seeing right here for me is like the perfect example, and I can describe it is it's like a symphony. Mm-hmm. So we are the only reason that the Blitz is happening is because we are playing our role. So we decided our role is gonna be have all the concrete, all the food is ready for the builders to come and build the houses. Like Amy was saying before, we are working in the footers today, and we already have 3 footers. We hope then we have 3 footers done by today, and CJ Brown is gonna come tomorrow and build the bases of the houses, and Wednesday is gonna come 4 different teams to build 4 houses in the same time. So we invite you because it's gonna be a big show, like I was saying before. I never even haven't heard about it in other place about something like this. 4 houses framed in 4 days is something very powerful, and talk about the power that we have in this community. The people that are sick and tired, and they decide to do something about it, and they don't want to hear. They don't want to go to another meeting to talk about it. They don't want to go to another meeting to hear about the data. This is the problem. People is with their hands ready to do something about it, and we invite you to see it because I think there is it's gonna be a lot of hope in these days because we're gonna see many people coming together. Like we was talking 2 days ago with Mountain
Express.
No, the crew.
Oh, Modern Mountain.
Modern Mountain, yeah. And she was saying that it's 10 people from their crew that is coming to build a house. So I think that it's going to be very powerful to see how many people came, how many people. I'm excited to see how many people show up to show love to the builders, bringing water, bringing snacks, because I think then something that for me is very inspiring in these communities, and when it's needed, people in the community always show up.
That's right.
You have been showing us in many different ways, in many different times. Then when the time came, you show up. You bring water, you bring food, you bring your support. So we invite you to bring you water, to bring you snacks, and to bring you support because it's going to be needed. These workers, these builders that is going to be coming next week need to see that the community is loving them too because they are giving back.
Yeah, so stop by on your lunch break. Bring your kiddos by and show them what's happening. One of the things I love, so there's a garden camp here on the campus of Land to Sky United Church of Christ who's been so supportive of this. We're super grateful to them. And there's also a Montessori school here. So this is a campus that's being really used by the community in such beautiful ways. But we have a lot of kiddos around like all the time, and they really love to see the action. So I've gotten to sit kiddos in the excavator and the skid steer when they've turned off and let them see how they work, and they get so excited about checking these things out. So bring your kids and let them see what's happening and how we can be the solution together and create home for each other. I deeply believe that as humanity, that one of our vocations, all of us, is to make home for and with each other. Home is that place where you belong, where you can be fully yourself, where you can root down and share your gifts, and also receive love and care. So home is a really beautiful, important place, and we've done a lot of reflecting about like what home means. So I invite you to do that. I often, when I go talk to groups about this, I invite people to take a little time to close their eyes even and think about like, what does home taste like? What does home feel like? What does home smell like? What do you experience home to be in your own life? And it's so beautiful to hear people's stories about it.
Yeah.
We've even had kids paint what home means to them on pieces of scrap wood that we bring from the village, and their paintings are really beautiful. And some people show home as being the outdoors, so mountains and trees and birds and animals that are special to them. A lot of people really show home as being in community. So often kids will paint a lot of houses or people coming together. Special food makes people feel at home, and so we've had people paint dishes of food that were really special in their family growing up. I love a painting that a kid did of their mom. So for them, home is synonymous with mom. Or one of the beautiful paintings that I really love, there's an angel sort of flying over a town. Mm-hmm. And so being at home feels like being loved and protected and connected. So there's a lot of ways that home is a really special place for us and a very significant place for us. And so we certainly want to help you all think about what home means. And for us, building homes is very technical and very labor intensive, but it's also work for us of the heart. And it's constantly on our minds what home means and what the gift of home means. And so we invite you to be a part of that. I hope it's something that having home for you, maybe you can really appreciate that and want to share that gift with somebody that needs that special place that home is. And really think about that and share that with other people that you're around, what home means and how we can work together to be homemakers. And for that to be one of our essential vocations as human beings, for and with each other.
I guess we're going to jump for the next step. Then is making all the boxes in the right place. Then is other of the things that take us a little bit because everything has to be in the right place.
I call this final checks. So we do final checks on all of our measurements. So we measure before we dig, and now we're going to measure after we dig to get all these in the right place. So these boxes sort of sit on frames, and we can slide them a 1/4 inch here or a 1/2 inch there and get them in exactly the right position when we've gotten really good at that. Yep. So we were very proud when we saw when C.W. Brown came to frame this floor, and to see those posts sitting directly in the middle of the pier, which means that we did our job just right. It means we got those piers in the exact right place. And so we do a lot of measurement because the whole house comes off of these piers.
Yeah, it's the base of everything what we are doing right now.
So it's really important. So we're excited to jump into that, and then we'll be get our inspection and hopefully be pouring concrete by midday. That's our goal. So we're very, very excited about that. Again, if you're just joining us, we want to invite you to come out to our Builders Blitz next week with the Builders Association of Blue Ridge Mountains. Wednesday through Saturday, 8 to 5. We're going to have pro builders out from Sineth and Modern Mountain Builders and Thorough Brother Builders, WSM Craft, Adams and Adams, and more folks that are coming out to help out. So we invite you to come and be a part. whether you want to volunteer or whether you just want to come.
Take a picture, video,
come
like,
watch us, share the
blast it
story.
in social media. Like, it's something
Yes.
historic. Like I say, we never see something like this happen nowhere. So it's powerful that this happen right here in our own community.
Bring water, Gatorade, bring home baked goods or some snacks you picked up, and come on and share some love with all the folks that are coming out. And let's all be in a circle committed to bringing our neighbors home in our community and doing this work together.
And I think that Natasha, to Labor Day, like this is the perfect moment to share love to the workers, the people in this building, many of the different places in our town. So came here and show you love before Labor Day. So it's going to be the perfect opportunity to say, then we support our workers, and then we want our workers to have the opportunity to live close to where they live, and this is how we are doing it, by workers building for workers too.
That's right. So thank you for all your support. Thanks for watching. You know, we tell people come by and see, and folks have said, "Oh, I'm seeing," and you're following on social media what's happening here, and we think this is just a miracle, and it's so beautiful to see some of our last homes having the foundations going in. So thank you for your support. Thank you for caring. Thank you for building home with us and being about the change that we need in our community, and welcoming our neighbors home through this work of building homes together. Hope you have a great day. Share some love out there wherever you go, and we hope to see you next week.